Starting out as we do each week with your Grow Weather Report, the Drought Monitor out of UNL, which didn't change this week. Moisture keeps coming along, and no drought in Nebraska. Still 7% in Kansas, abnormally dry. The rest of the Sunflower State, 93% drought-free. And this is what we see for the month ahead as far as those temperatures are concerned. Looks like overall Kansas and Nebraska will see temperatures below normal. There is a part of the Panhandle and north central Nebraska where temperatures will average near normal for this time of year. 3 months out then, kind of equal chances, 50-50. It looks more like an average seasonal temperature for 3 months out into the winter months. So that's kind of a change from what we've been trending here the last few months. And then Kansas below normal temperature-wise for the winter months coming up. As far as precipitation, then both Nebraska and Kansas, the month ahead, above normal precipitation. And that's really falling in line with the weather pattern that we've been seeing so far this year. And the same holds true. It means winter is going to have a lot of snow. Well, if you look at this, and it's been pretty accurate this year, and that is from the National Weather Service, their 3-month outlook. So that would include winter on its way. We'll see how that all turns out. Well, the week ahead, we do see temperatures getting warm this week. 88 tomorrow, sunshine. Temperatures will fluctuate in the upper 80s to around 90, maybe even above towards the end of the week. And we see lows around 64 to around 68 degrees this coming week with no moisture for a change in the forecast. But of course, that could always change. Temperatures for average highs this time of year for that first week in September should be right around 84 degrees for a high, 60 degrees a low. But this week, we're going to average around 89 degrees for a high and 66 for a low. Well, the proverb this week, kind of a different one. September rain is much like the farmer. In the autumn, warm, bright, and clear. Does that seem like you? Warm, bright, and clear? Well, you know who you are. And then, so we may expect a fertile year. I'm not sure how that all fits in, but that was the proverb that we took down this week. Well, we also took some of your pictures. You sent them to us, and here they are.
We would love to see your photos from the Nebraska State Fair, especially kids showing off their 4-H and FFA projects. Email us grow@nebraska.tv or post to us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're going to turn to Jeff here from Heartland Farm Partners. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Let's first of all, we just talked about it. Oil prices, also the sell-off with the stocks. This can impact our farmers out there.
It definitely has. Ever since we had all the renewable energy and especially ethanol in the mix, it's very important. The oil price is important. So as we see the oil price go down, even though we'd like to see cheaper gas,
right,
it definitely does put some pressure on the corn market. And the sell-off in stocks, anytime you see that happening, whether it's in the U.S. or in China, that creates a situation of uncertainty, and that also tends to put pressure on the grain markets, and it has. It's been a very volatile week, kind of back and forth, but mostly down.
And so you can obviously see that some of the cause and effect there. So let's get up to date here. What is your harvest time outlook?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to revise. There's a lot more numbers coming out. Last week, Pro Farmer came out with their tour numbers. 164.3 was kind of their yield. If that would end up being the yield, we should expect some harvest lows on the December futures, you know, somewhere between the 370 and 380 area, which is really right where we're at. Now, we don't think that's going to be the yield. Our number as a company is 166 bushels the acre based off our research. That would say we would come in somewhere between 360 and 370. Now, this is on the futures price for December, but not the cash price. That'd be about a dime lower. Now, if USDA numbers are right, and those came from 2 weeks ago, they were at a 168.9. That would call for something closer to like the 350, 360, 340, 350 area. I don't think that's real likely, but you can't rule that out.
Okay, so in other words, you know what you're talking about. USDA doesn't, right?
Well, we'll see. Time will tell.
Okay, so let's talk about here, what should our farmers be thinking of then?
Yeah, there's really about 4 situations, and as we come into harvest, for that guy who has bushels that are unsold, he's going to take them to his bin. It's probably a pretty easy decision. He doesn't need to do really anything with them unless he thinks the price is going to fall a lot, but I think he's okay remaining unpriced. If you've got somebody who's got to take them to town and they're already sold, great, but he doesn't have the basis set on them yet, he can wait a little bit. We're kind of thinking because of the El Nino, we may see a little bit more moisture at harvest time, so that could be a little bit more positive for basis. He can wait. If he's the type of guy who's taking those bushels home to the bin, but he's already got them sold, he can wait to set the basis yet, and he can also wait to roll those contracts forward. The carry will get a little better. The hard one, Marylyn, is that guy who's unsold, and he's got to take them to town. If we would get a bounce here, I would still make a sale here. But if we don't get a bounce, I'd just take them into town and then put them under storage, and let's see how these yields turn out as the combines get in the field. Some
great words of advice. Thank you so much as always, Jeff. And again, Heartland Farm Partners, check them out. Also go to our website, nebraska.tv.
It's been a big school year already for Nebraska FFA. Coming up, we'll tell you just how many new chapters there are in the state. Stay with us.